great honor to present my very dear old friend and well-wisher, His Grace Srila Niranjana Swami Maharaj, who's been a devotee since before I was alive. And he's going to speak to us a little bit today about Ratha Yatra.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shanyavari Vastachadi Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I'm just going to speak for a few minutes. Mahaprema Devidasi said I'm going to speak about Ratha Yatra, but I will speak on a topic connected to Ratha Yatra, and I believe which is very relevant for this event here in Boston and for our Ratha Yatra festival today. I was reflecting on something as I was sitting on the side of the stage about how this Ratha Yatra festival manifested itself. And it brought to mind an anecdote I once heard about my spiritual master, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And I'll give the little anecdote and then I'll try to explain its relevance connected to this Ratha Yatra event. He was one time, and of course not one time in India, but one time while he was in India, he was visited by a very distinguished gentleman. And Prabhupada would oftentimes meet with guests who would come to his room, sometimes politicians, scholars. This one gentleman had just been to see a yogi in India, and he had an impression of meeting with this yogi because this yogi had this ability to manifest something from thin air. So he very proudly was telling Srila Prabhupada about what he had observed in the presence of this yogi. He said this yogi was just sitting there and he was trying to present to Srila Prabhupada something very mystical, something very, very wonderful happened. And he said, I saw with my own eyes that this yogi was there and opened up his hand and he manifested an apple in his hand. And he thought Srila Prabhupada would be very impressed by this mystic city called Prapti City, which is a mystic yogic city, to be able to take something from one place and to manifest it some other place. And then he asked Srila Prabhupada, he said, can you do that? And my spiritual master responded in a very profound way. He said, actually, I came to America alone. I had nothing in my possession. Started speaking about Krishna consciousness in the Western world in New York City. Some followers came. And from these few followers, gradually, some temples were opened. And these temples began opening in so many cities throughout the whole world. And in these temples, deities manifested. And to prepare food for the deities, in these temples we had so many kitchens. And all of those kitchens, there were so many apples. That was his response. So he was trying to show that you're so worked up about this yogi who can manifest Bhakti Siddhi and manifest an apple someplace. But Srila Prabhupada's mystic yogic siddhi was his bhakti. How is that connected to this event? Well, here we are today. I don't know how many people here. Mahaprema, in the beginning of her introduction to today, she talked about the Jagannath Puri Ratha Yatra, where I believe this year, I think there were 10 lakh people, million people who attended the event. It's been going on for such a long time in Jagannath Puri. When Srila Prabhupada came to the West, as she indicated, Prabhupada came in 1965. He first landed here in Boston Harbor. He wrote a prayer. In his prayer, he was praying to Lord Krishna that I don't know why you have brought me to this place, but you must have some purpose. Please give my words some meaning so that the people will be able to understand my words, and just simply make me a puppet in your hands, O Lord. Make me dance, make me dance, make me dance. O Lord, make me dance. His mood was that of total devotion, submission, surrender. What was his surrender? He manifested all over the world a lot more than just a few apples and some kitchens all over the world. He brought this festival. Of course, we could start talking for a long time, how he established temples all over the world, but he also brought Lord Jagannath, and because of his devotion, he invoked Lord Jagannath to appear in his form that we are worshipping today. I know a little bit about the history of the Ratha Yatra festival here in Boston, because I've been here. I joined in this temple and when it was in Alston in 1972. I started coming, and since 1972 I've been connected to this temple, so I know when Lord Jagannath appeared, and I know when the Ratha Yatras began appearing. It was a little bit different than what Mahaprema said. It was actually the Ratha Yatra festivals began manifesting in the late 1970s on a regular basis. But that's just Boston. Srila Prabhupada manifested Ratha Yatra festivals in major cities throughout the whole world by his desire. His desire was one with wanting to please the Lord. He wanted to please Lord Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. And because of his firm devotion, firm prayer, and his desire to spread Lord Jagannath's glories, Radha Krishna's glories, Lord Chaitanya's and Lord Nityananda's glories throughout the whole world, he manifested the Lord to come by his dint of his prayers and to accept our service. For not only our service, his followers, but for generations to come, Lord Jagannath is here by Srila Prabhupada's desire. Such is the strength, the power of pure bhakti. Pure bhakti has the potency to invoke the Lord's presence. And therefore this festival is built on that principle. Ratha Yatra festival is built on the principle that we're actually making an effort to satisfy Lord Jagannath, the Lord of the universe, taking him on the streets for his cart ride, giving the residents of Boston and cities all over the world the opportunity to take his darshan, to serve him, pull the ropes of his Ratha Yatra cut. It's all manifest by the pure desire of one devotee. My spiritual master, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I thought he would be on the stage, but I guess he must have a different altar someplace else. But please, if you want to know more about this festival, then the best thing to do is to know more about the person who brought this festival to the West. And then you'll be able to understand what an amazing mystic yogi he is. Making apples manifest from thin air is insignificant to what Srila Prabhupada has manifested all over the world by his pure desire to please the Lord. Please take advantage of this festival, learn more about His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, His books are available. Books about him, his biography are available. Everything that's here today is here by his wish, by his desire. We're just simply carrying it out and keeping our kitchen stocked with apples because that is his potency. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.